Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I have some questions for you in relation to your work. For question one, connecting threats. You have such a diverse portfolio: author, YouTuber, trainer, activist. Could you share with us what core passion or mission connects these different threats of your work?
Yeah, you name some few that you know. YouTuber, trainer is something I do on daily basis. Now, to be an author is a lifelong uh, responsibility. I'm sure you definitely came across my second book, and that's why you gather all these feelings. No, but to be frank, when I see all my activity, I think I'm trying to empower people, empower those with whom I work, empower those who look at me as a leader, and empower those who are losing hope in this tough world. That is what I try to do as a fitness coach. That's what I try to do as a political analyst. That is what I try to do by writing books.
Okay, saying to that, we go to the second question. To your works, I can see from my view what combine whatever you do, I combine it under empowerment. Drawing inspiration from your second book, Power Dynamics. Your book tackles a fundamental aspect of human interaction. How can a better understanding of these dynamics practically empower individuals in their daily lives, perhaps in their careers, relationships, or community involvement? Could you share with us a specific insight from the book you find particularly crucial?
Yes, I found that everybody needs money. Yes, everybody is looking for money. Then, secondly, that in every relationship there is uh, an unpublished power tussling that's going on. It is not usually admitted by both partners, but it is there. So, but all this is powered by money. So, in the book, I will cite instances of people who have used schemes, financial schemes, to have a mammoth crowd of people following them until they were deceived, they were abused. In the book, I will cite cases of uh, marital abuse because of lack of financial responsibility, especially when the man doesn't have his finance on check. His level of self confidence is low, and the woman actually is browsing on him just like we do browse on social media. And I'm also going to talk aspect of job security. I'm going to talk of aspect of politics, the general perception and reality. All that's engulfed in the aspect of we are looking for money, but we are not always doing what it requires to have money. I will take instances, or I always take my story. By the time I wrote my first book, those who know me can attest that I was living with a very little comfort. I remember I've shared a single room bed with my wife for more than 4 years before we moved into a room and a kitchen and toilet. For 8 years, I mean, between single room and a toilet, yeah, we spent 8 years. See, now we live in a single room apartment, and people only focus on what they see in my life today. But I try to tell them that the reality of this life is in the stories. Yes. I want to use myself as a mirror to those who can still believe in life. That if you work extremely hard, if you put yourself in intense situation, people know me, know I don't borrow money, and they know I don't beg money. I've never begged money. That is one thing everybody can tell you about me. I don't beg, I don't take money from people. Whosoever call me that wants to help me with money, I don't take that because I know through money, I've seen how they have rubbish people in this life, and I don't want to be part of that. So, if you want money, know that you are forbidden of some pleasure. When you need money, you are forbidden of some pleasure. It's like somebody who has who is oversized, whose body is poorly composed, and they carry makeup and they are overdosing their faces. You see, that's exactly what people do in terms of finances. You see people that are rich but that are seemingly rich. I say that they they are making up. They are making up for a character that will rather impoverish them. Because in the same lane, eh, 10 years has gone, and I've seen those same people who were pretending that they were rich. They are still today unable to feed their children. I'm talking 10 years. We live in a society, fortunate for some of us, we have a possibility to be looking around. It means that if today you are faking that you are rich, 10 years from today, you will not move an inch from where you are because your lifestyle is already a constraint to your growth. So, in the book, I try to say that is the way you use your time today that is going to guarantee your success. A typical example is my wife. 10 years, she never believed in my business. And up to today, she's still lost. And I see how I have moved in the space of 10 years. So it's a call for those who minimize action. That truly what changes one person from another is how they use their time. And if that was the only message you were to take out of this book, then I'm sure it's going to set you financially free.
Okay, thank you, sir. Go to the third question. Okay, you work as a YouTuber and you are a content creator. You can be termed a digital voice generation. What motivated you to become a YouTuber, a content creator, focusing on educational content? How do you see digital platforms like YouTube serving as tools for empowerment, both for creators and audiences, especially within the context of Cameroon?
The context of Cameroon, I had no choice than to survive. I come from a family that is wretched, and even if I had wished to be given some wealth, I was not granted any. So the only thing I was left with was my will to succeed. So the context itself motivated me to be who I am today. I had no choice. Then the fact that I had responsibility, keeping a woman and let her run a child, was an extra motivation. And I've always had staff. If you go back in history, I've always had an office and I've always had a secretary. Sometimes there were two, three. So it's also a message to send to young entrepreneurs because I've also met people that are 10 years into entrepreneurship. They have never worked with somebody. That is extremely dangerous. At a certain point, it shows a level of low vision and selfishness. Entrepreneurship shouldn't only be limited to employing yourself. It should provide development opportunity for other people to create positive change. When you participate in putting food on somebody's table, you are influencing the person indirectly. You are educating or empowerment. So YouTube was just an accident of of test. I tried so many things. God alone know. Uh, but one thing is that I was focused on digitalization. I have spent after 2020, the win of digitalization that blew over Cameroon. We were some of the main benefactor because spending more than 9 hours on social media helped me to be testing so many things. As a JCI member, we were called often to go for training here and there. So I was already used to public speaking. Then shortly after I joined politics, it exposed me now to a wide range of conversations, sometimes panel debates, and I grew my public speaking skills there. Having portrait, I went over so many TV channels, and it was the same treatment. We appear every day neat after the program. Maybe we have 1 or 2 bites, but never did they think of offering us transportation, talk less of a pocket allowance. We sometime around 2018 even created a forum of panelists thinking to make it as a pressure group to media houses so that they can fund our lifestyle as panelists, but that never happened. But if there were some fundamental question that kept coming in my mind, whenever I see jingles or I see adverts, I was so carried away by all the animation. And I will keep on asking myself, what are the animation they have put together to make this advert? That curiosity made me to develop PowerPoint. I'm one of the few I've really developed PowerPoint to the edges. I've conceived animation advert for so many companies, and but all those things were season project. I came to realize the limitation of physical business. Since I was a politician, we live in a context that is highly nepotized. If people think that you belong to a certain party, they think that they should not do business with you. They should cripple you so that you grow out of need and you come back begging them. It's the general philosophy in Cameroon. For those who are yet to be here, if you don't know Cameroonian, you take them to be your friends until they prove to you that they only favor theirs. So I was thinking, how do I survive in such a context? So combining all these skills I've talked about, I was putting on video haphazardly on social media, haphazardly, Facebook. But my first channel that actually blew was Facebook. Because guess what? I used to be very shocked when I see somebody post something and maybe after 1 minute they post half thousand of likes or view. So I thought that those who had that kind of post, what we call today influencers, I thought that they had a kind of that they were ordained in a special way. Until one day I posted my I always remember that page. I started posting and it was having thousands of views. As a matter of fact, one of my videos went above 500 views in I think it was 24 hours. So I grew a channel. That channel moved from 5,000 followers to 15,000 followers in 3 days. But the long and short of that page is that it was hacked. Yes, it was hacked. So if I was to show proof for that, I might be limited. But it didn't stop the experience I felt already. It was already part of me. Then for YouTube, I try everything. I talk about personal development, talk about relationship, talk about football, talk about intimacy. I spoke about everything. Coupled with my trainings, everything was on one channel. One day after a football match, Cameroon, Algeria, it was a qualifying match for the World Cup. I will never forget that match because that was the first day I received an email from YouTube saying that my channel is ripe for monetization. The video all my video for the space of 3 years had 1, 2, 3 views. That's the truth about it. Sometimes me and my staff in the office, when we finished watching, we were good for the day. And that's something that most people unfortunately don't have, the patience I have in my life. 1 view, 2 views, I still have a kind of energy. You ask yourself truly. And these are the questions my wife will always ask me. But what are you doing? The world is moving on. You seem to be on the same spot. And I will look at her and say, Mom, if your time to go have reached, just begin go. I've never been afraid of people leaving me. Never. So it flow like that. So after that 16,000 views and 1,000 subscribers, at least I've clocked 4,000 hours of watch hours, and I was right for monetization. But still, I did not believe. I was like, what is monetization? So I applied for what? Is it a pin code or something like that? Something like that. It took me 3 months to have it. I didn't relent my effort. So when I had the code, I came and put. There was already money in the wallet, in what they call the AdSense something. What YouTube AdSense something. So, but I didn't have a bank account. I remember quite okay. I had a UBA bank account, but yeah, it wasn't attached to my channel. So I was advised to go to Afriland and make a bank account. I went there and made it, and by then it cost me only 10,000 francs or so. I think, yeah, maybe combined with the document, it was 15,000. So I went and make it. So I came and sat one blissful Friday. Because what you don't know is that by then I was babysitting my son. So every day I'll carry him on my back to the office. So one hot afternoon while he was crying, I couldn't stay indoor with him. Places were hot. I went and sat at the balcony with him, and I was babysitting him while waiting that the mother should come back from school around 3 p.m. So I saw an alert on my phone. I was like, frankly speaking to you, I've never received money in my Momo or even a message more than 100,000. So when I thought it was 160 francs. My mind could not go too big. Hey, I want to see some few zeros are again behind. I said, hey. So I rushed to my partner in the office. I asked him that, hey, bro, I just received some alert from Afriland. I said, I gave him the phone. I abandoned it to him that he should please and build my confidence that truly this message belongs to me and that it is real. The guy was like, pa, you don't learn, no. It means in our local parlance that, then I say, they don't break. So, say, it was 165,000 francs. Truly speaking, if you ask me, I would tell you that it was free money because I never expected anything from nobody. Yes. But behold, that money was there. So I didn't believe that it was real money. I doubted. So immediately I begged him to stay with my kid, with my son. So I left him while the mother would come after and pick him. I rushed to the bank. There was a long queue of line. I took number 14, sat there, feel the bordereau. And when I entered the room, I was afraid because we had watched this movie where people go maybe to collect something. They say it was drug. They call for police people to come and handcuff you. That is the feeling I had. I was like, they will come and handcuff me here that I've taken a fake message to come and claim money in the bank. Behold, when the woman said I should sign here, I signed. I said, oh, Papa God, I saw she counted this money and gave me. I was trembling. 160,000, I was panicking. So when I went back in the office, I removed part of the money and gave to that my colleague in the office. What for? For being with me, for advising me, for trusting me. But as a very dull man, I called my wife and threw all the rest of the money on the table and said that more money has come, let's share. So we started deciding. But maybe in the other part of the question, I will answer why I say as a fool. But that is what I thought was normal at that particular time. So I did so. And the rest of the story, I think, is what you see today.
Thank you, sir. We continue with the questions. Sharing expertise online. As someone who creates educational content and trains in digital communication, what advice would you offer listeners who aspire to use online platforms effectively to share their own stories, knowledge, or expertise?
We live in a socially selective society. You might have known me in the past as somebody who was sharing educational content, but I don't do that anymore. These days, I am too focused. I have come to realize that people have made their choices to suffer, and I just sometimes just want to be a spectator in their suffering. You see, back then, if you go, you will see my post where I will advise what to do before 30, what to do before 7 a.m., how to run your 9 to 5 job, and all those. I don't do those things anymore. Yes. Interacting with people regularly, I've realized that people know what they are doing. They have simply chosen the short path that actually will maintain them poor. Yes. Or will just maintain them as low income earners or as beggars. So, but what I do today really is observing people. That I don't really take time to advise. So maybe those who benefited from my advice in the yesteryears, they were good. Today, instead, I try as much as possible to avoid nonchalant people who infect that that obvious reality in me, that feeling of let me sleep a little bit more, let me just do it tomorrow. Yes, I just want to avoid them completely. Yes. So no, I don't have any advice to give anybody. People know what they are doing, and if they are okay by it, I'm also okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. We are going to the fifth question. Question 5. Lessons in leadership and initiative. Our research suggests involvement in initiative hinting at entrepreneurship. Could you share some experiences related to leading projects or ventures? And what key lessons about initiative and leadership have you learned along the way?
Yeah, I admire people whose business thrive when they are no more, and I wish my business should thrive when I will not be. One key lesson I've learned as a leader is to use don't do what you can pay people to do for you. Yes. If you want to have time to think, don't do what you can pay people to do for you. It will amaze you to know that even sometimes to wash dishes, I pay people to do that for me. To iron my clothes. When I can iron, I iron. But if I was given a chance, I'll pay. Then don't limit your life to a wife, to a staff. When people feel so important to your life, they tend to use their proximity to bring you down to their level. Always make anybody know that they are replaceable and without consequences on your own part. Like in the house, for example, if there's a way you can pay a neighbor to come and cook in your house when your wife is playing around, don't do that. She won't complain in the family meeting, but that's setting an example of leadership. Your leadership should be in a way that people should know that the least chance they give you to move on, you will never look behind. And I think it has worked for me. Most people don't tell me, but when they see the way I approach my life, they see it's very risky. Yes. See, it's very extremely risky. I say yes, that is dripping at the edges. If you make your home depending on somebody than you, the truth is that the day those people have resources more than you are out of that home. Same thing in your business. It should be a platform that is enabling anybody to thrive and become better. And so anybody will bring an attitude to bring down the standard. Look at women that date low value men. They will tell you their wish is to date a high value man. But you give them that high value man in the space of 3 months, they will bring back the man to the low value because they have that tendency of neglecting what is ultimate. It's a woman that hold her home to higher standards. But the woman that don't have exploit cannot even see the vision. Just as if you go and you are employing people that are low value, they will definitely drag you to the mud. You must aim big. And in order to bring in high value people, you must, it's just like a container. If you clean a container and put dirty water, what happens? The container get back to dirt. But if you clean the container and you're lucky to put clean water, it is shining, sparkling, and attracting. So is your environment. Always know that until you discard the wrong seat, they will always contaminate the new seat, and the new seat are the exploits everybody is aiming for. So, uh, my leadership, that is what I can say about it. I easily discard what I don't like. I easily replace people who take my proximity for granted. And I'm very good at going silent. I don't pick calls. I mostly answer voice note. And I don't answer people on questions that are not related to what I want. Yes. I only replicate what people you I mirror goods. That's the concept. Mirroring effects. The way somebody relate with me is the way I relate back. If you take a gun and you're shooting at yourself and you give me the trigger, I will empty the trigger. But if you are somebody who is building yourself, I will help you build yourself.
Okay, question 6 is centered on the impact of training and mentorship. You have experienced training diverse groups. What is your core philosophy when it comes to training and mentorship? And could you share an example illustrating the empowering effect of building capacity in others?
Yes, I once hired most people with whom I've worked had little knowledge about the job they were being paid for. So one secret of mentorship again, it goes back to patience. And to be patient, you must trust people blindly. Yes. If you don't trust people, you cannot mentor people. And trusting people is knowing that they're to have their own life. So when the time comes for goodbye, you shouldn't lament that you train them and so they are going. No. You give them the chance. And if they feel to go, you wish them well. But one thing also I don't do is bringing back somebody, even if they were important to me. Once the door is closed, I make sure I throw the key inside the ocean where we cannot find it again. So my mentorship with across adult is I make them put something at risk. Yes. We all are risking something. At that point, you are responsible for the decision you take. You see, for example, if I'm to take in maybe to the sport group where I am, when you don't pay your commitment fee, you don't even exist to me. Yes. I will make sure I ignore you in a way that you only either you feel it then or you feel it later that you don't really exist to me. Because the essence is not really the money you are spending, it's a sacrifice that goes behind that money. Then at workplace, I pay on daily productivity to make the worker to remind the worker that is you are not doing me favor. conscious worker will do everything necessarily to have a task to do because that is the basement of their payment. Anybody who have ever received money online know that if you don't put any work in, you will have nothing. And months can go like that without you earning nothing until you put in work. Then you. It's the same thing home. A woman who is not committed to cook for you, to do the minimum, is a challenger, and you should treat her like one. You see, there are some things that cannot be debatable, and you only get to debate when you don't have alternative. Truly, I know how painful it is for a woman to see another woman doing things in her house. Yeah, it's painful. But now, if it's not a concubine, she cannot report it to people because she knows that when you say, okay, she couldn't iron my dresses, so I pay for somebody to do so. She's ashamed. She couldn't cook for me on time, so I pay somebody to do so. So it's about reminding people of their responsibility. They don't have a choice. You don't have a choice to discharge a responsibility that is yours. Just like when time to renew rent arrive, your husband don't have to bring justification. When the time for paying for bill, maybe medical bills, school fees, there is no justification. Your wife is free to cheat on you when you do so. And if it happens, society is going to stand with her. They will blame you for not being ready. So if everybody understood that the time we are using to be smiling on social media, we are supposed to put it into work until we have the resources to prepare for those urgent moments, then we are actually the cause of our own trouble, if at all it happens in our own environment. So when you establish those kinds of basemen around you, those who clown know the consequence of their actions.
Okay, thank you, sir. In fact, we are going to file the interview. We are getting to question 7. Question 7 is talking about passion of peace building. What fuels your passion for peace building work in your community, particularly involving youth? What are some of the key challenges and importantly successes you've witnessed in promoting peace?
Promoting peace is giving people opportunity to feel good. Starting with your woman at home, she needs to be happy. Your children need to be happy. We cannot talk peace without having peace at home. Your workplace, they have to be happy. Now, don't confuse happiness and laissez-faire. Happiness means that people are having the basic tools to deploy their services. People are having the necessary knowledge to act on time. That is happiness. Get up in the morning and your family has breakfast together while discussing how the day is going to look like. That's exactly setting a floor for happiness. But now, if you are having your breakfast in the toilet, your wife in the kitchen, your son may be outside, the day is already troublesome. In the book that we are talking about, I've encouraged family dining session almost all the time. That is why family is not meant for deserted parents. Some of us, we are product of parents who were never there. And the consequences are, yeah, we have grown up with wounds. That has made it so difficult for us to take something normal like others do. And it's because of the wounds that we are carrying along. We must help the generation to come not to suffer from those kind of wounds by doing what we are supposed to do. The basement for peace is deploying your responsibility on time, doing what you are supposed to do on time, paying your workers on time, being at the gym on time, providing report on time, trying as much as possible that things that will set the ball going should be available on time. When you do like that, it limits a lot of escalation. Yes, when you make people really, when you provide the basics. I'll take for example, in my house I don't have a TV. I don't have TV. Yes. Now, there are so many reasons why I don't have a TV, but I have all time internet at home. So I prefer that you should have access to whatever program you want to watch than to have a fixed TV that the cable owners choose what you have to watch at a particular time. It's more of a free will that I have put. But also I know the kind of partner I have and how I've monitored and assessed her previously when we had TV. I simply told her that when she has worked her money and she can buy a TV for her and her children, fine. For me, I cannot afford to be buying something that will be distracting her and keeping her out of the kind of life I want to build for us. So, peace. I don't talk about peace as a word today. I talk about peace as action, reminding myself of the things I have to do on time. That is how I talk peace these days. And I hope the people around me feel it the way I want to pass it as mission, as message.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We are progressing. We are getting to question 8. Question 8 is about communication. Communication as a tool for change. Communication seems central to all your roles. How vital is how vital is effective communication in navigating conflict, fostering understanding, and driving positive social or political change based on your experiences?
Wow. I'll start by thanking you for understanding that communication is almost what have made the difference between me and those who are like me and are still there. Yes. Without compromising their future. Because there are so many people who have compromised their future. They cannot justify the source of their income and they are living a ravish life, exploiting people, like the way they behave with their money already show that they don't have genuine sources. It's very different. So communication, it can be a gift or as it can be um, an inconvenience. But if I am to take, I've had the opportunity to ask this question from people, especially in my sport environment. Like, is it that I talk too much? And the answer is no. But you don't know you how to filter your words. You blow it on somebody's face and you look at the person how they feel about it. Yes. And I will tell you, when I say I've lived more than 15 years with my wife, every day is a divorcing day for us. We talk about it. I'm going. I want. So when I come back, so you are still there. What does this send to you as message? I am more grateful for the time we have been together than the fear of her going one day. Because whether you like it or no, people go and people will go. Offer them the world, they will go. How will they go? Sometimes naturally, and the signs are already there, or sometimes by accident. Your husband, your wife could be not by car, can be traveling and die. I don't wish that. But I'm just trying to remind you that be more grateful of yesterday. Speak your truth quietly. Don't be afraid of what people are going to do because that's what's going to kill us. We don't want to offend. Well, that's how we put it. I don't want to offend you. By not wanting to offend your partner, you are blundering the relationship. The relationship is fake, artificial, and just like a candle, light up so fast to off. If you ever do a candle that the speed at which it's lighting like that is to get off very soon, the candle will not believe why the lamp is enclosed and takes time to die off. Choose. If you want to be inflaming people that you are finding why you are not fine, know that the day your 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 environment get shattered, people are going to be shocked, and you'll be part of the shock. There was recently a story online where an artist that who have projected her family like the best family that exists in Cameroon. Uh, her father happened to have slaughtered a child in daytime. Like he took a machete and went to their house because he had a score to settle with that child's father. Went and took that knife into the 7 years or 6 years old Matisse. He died on the spot. So the whole war was taken aback. Like, you have portrayed your family like a very perfect family. Do you think a perfect father who is not traumatized will do this kind of thing? People started digging. And the mother was no more placed on the father, but on the girl. And today her career is at jeopardy. What am I trying to pass as message? You must communicate the exact feeling in your environment. Nobody is forcing you to do so. But if you choose to do it, then be on the right. Because guess what? When things get sour, people are just going to build on what you have communicated so far. It should be clear. So if you are going through good time in your home and you portray that you are going through bad time and you portray it as bad time outside, good and fine for you. You know why you are doing so. If you are going through bad time and you portray you are going through good time, it's still good and fine for you. But what I'm saying is that you do so hoping that very soon things are going to be fine. Things do not go fine by themselves. If you get worse and you have to shout out, nobody will be there for you. They will remind you that you have been showing that everything is fine. So suck it up. So how I communicate my feelings is I don't mix up. I tell you exactly what I feel about you, whether I need you around or not, and you have to live with it. And I've written in the book, learn to live with your enemy. Yes. Know people challenges. Try talk it out with them and let you people live like that. So that the day they want to poison you, it should be that, okay, that day has come. But if they have their interest coming from you, they cannot poison you. Because if they poison you and lost that interest, it's going to be detrimental for them. The best way to live with people is to live with your enemy. Yes. Once you people know your enmity, but know the point of interest, life can go on for hundreds of years. That is how politicians live with their opponent. How do you think you govern? No, but everybody cannot see the life like you. Whether you are doing, everybody saw life with Jesus. I mean, the man that you ask me to dine with anybody on earth, I will say you to bring me Jesus on the table. And for reason that I might explain some other time. So, communicate your feelings the way they are, especially to people that you meet regularly. Because when you get into deep shit, you will need them to feel something. And if you have not bear that something you want them to feel, it might shock you that they will not feel what you want them to feel. And you will not blame them for that. So that has been my secret. I don't say everything that comes to my head, but I say to the person what I think is bad about them and for them and give them the choice to change it on their own. Yes, that's how I do.
Okay, thank you for the enlightenment. Question 9 talks about resilience and sustainability.
Mm.
Navigating multiple demanding roles requires significant resilience.
Yeah.
What strategies for managing your energy, maintaining focus, and ensuring the sustainability of your impact have you found essential?
Wow. You see, take life serious. And I mean it. Take life serious. This question you're talking about, resilience and maintaining sustainability. It means if you are not somebody who knows me, you cannot even know that. If you think drinking, following women, both married and unmarried and student and whatsoever, is the lifestyle that you want to follow. Oh, I want to tell you that the downfall of so many people have come from there. I'm not saying that it's not possible to do those things and still succeed. No, because there are so many people who are doing it like that and they are fine. But from my own perspective, when I say to be disciplined in life, is to understand that not every woman, not every skirt that pass by your way should interest you. When you're at that point where everything that pass, the only feeling you have about it is to consume, then I think for me that's the beginning of trouble. That's one. Two, do what you are supposed to do on time and do only it. You see, when it's sport time, I don't try to philosophize. Yes. I get up, dress, and go. My wife will be there, oh, see the time. Oh, please, my darling. I said, which darling? The only difference between me and some of you is that maybe you just got married. These stories of darling, no, where are they coming from? There are years that you call me by my father's name, and you didn't care. because I couldn't give you what you want. Today I become your darling. You don't want me to die. I say, no, I want to die. Yes. Meaning that what? When you become valuable to people, they might restrain you from doing what you are supposed to do on time. Oh, baby, please drop the phone now and come. Wait, baby, you are working too hard. Wait, baby, rest a bit now. They look so sweet, so caring. But at what price? Never is she talking about the overall bill. Never is she talking about what quarter of it is she satisfying. You see it. The things are going to distract you are so softened. Like that charming voice of your wife inviting you to bed. Oh, baby, please, if you're not coming now, my body is shaking. All those things. You have to fling it out. Be like a man, stiff, strong. See things you like and pretend that you have not seen them until you normalize pretending that it's not okay to fall for it. As easy going as it is, that is how as difficult. The difference always is that I have once been where there is nothing. So each time there is a chance for me to fumble, I remember how it felt to have nothing. And if there was a chance for me to choose, I will always choose to be disciplined. So maybe it's my past that make it easy for me to be resilient and hold a stream of stability. Maybe it's my past. But if what could help somebody to adapt, I will tell you that start with the difficult tasks and get to the easier ones when you are tired. Never, never take easy things when your energy is still high.
Okay. Question 10 has many sub questions, and I will ask them as they appear. Enlightening questions. We have one. A book that changed your life. Please, can you give us a quick rundown on the book that made you the person you are today?
Yeah, The Art of Seduction.
Title, the author.
Yeah, Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. This book taught me that everybody is supposed to be a seducer all the time. Yes. Yeah, my friend would say I've always been neat, but I didn't know it has contributed to my personality. So since I read this book, I have become more charming. I cannot count the number of women who want to be in bed with me after that book. All is not only money. I've seen people who have money who see grow some needs that are challenging. But since I read The Art of Seduction, it has helped me quite a lot to stop fantasizing on certain things, to attract people more, and to be selective in my attraction. So that's one book that have really impacted me and has built who I am today.
The next sub question is what is your best Cameroonian dish or your favorite Cameroonian dish?
I don't have any favorite dish.
Next, the next question. A word that defines you. A word.
Resilience.
Next question. Best advice ever received.
It's when I'm ignored.
Okay. One thing youth need most. Okay. What do the youth need most that you can see as this is the most important need of the youth nowadays?
Patience.
Okay. What do you like for breakfast? Coffee, tea.
See,
Dream collaboration, persons or organization.
if I had a video editor who can edit all what I think,
Next question. Morning ritual you swear by
spot.
and can say one or two. You swear by morning ritual.
No, only spot.
Like you have been noticed jogging and listening to books. Is it not part of your morning ritual?
Yes, maybe, especially listening to books. Yes.
Okay. Podcast or music
No,
when
what
working.
podcast? Podcast. I don't even know new music.
Lastly, one word for your 2025 vision. A word.
Consistency.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Okay.
for the question. Thank you for the responses and reactions. We are grateful. See you
Okay.
in our next interview.
Okay.